Once application has been created using ClaySys, you can see here based on the earlier demo the Northwind application in the URL. If the user logs into that URL and clicks on the contact form on the left, it brings up the contact form that was created when we designed the application. And for the end user, they can populate the form, and once they fill up the relevant fields in the form, they are able to save the form to the Northwind database. And in this demo, we are going to focus on the ease of maintaining an application already created, and that is related to the ability to incorporate changes, change requests, etc. So here we just saw that I saved Robert King as another contact record. Now remember, we had saved John Smith as a contact. Now using John Smith's email address, I'm able to retrieve John Smith from the Northwind database. If I go back to Robert King again and then do a reload, I'm actually fetching that record from the database, and you can see you can actually do a select on any of the columns or fields in the form. It's because all those fields have been set in that search query to the database. And finally, what I want to show you is the ability to also make an edit. So in this case, I'm going to go in and edit the email address of John Smith. I'm going to change it from Gmail to MSN, and now I'm going to click the update button, and I've just now edited that record for John Smith. If I now search for John Smith to retrieve it, you can see the record, the value has been edited in the database. Now this video is about the ease of maintaining an application that's already been created. So here what I'm showing you is I've gone back to the designer and I've gone to edit mode of the contact form, and what I'm doing here is, let's assume I want to change the layout of this form. So what I'm doing from my toolbox is dragging and dropping a border control, and a border control is just to kind of define the background layout that a form surface should be, and let's say I want to change the layout of the fields itself. I can simply drag and drop them around my design surface based on the layout that I would like. And once I've done that, all I need to do is set the properties of the border control as required. In this case, I'm just going to go in and give it a certain margin, but there's a whole set of properties. And when I go to preview mode, you can now see I have a neat border control and a new layout for those form fields. I can give it a title. I'm going to call this the contact form, and once I've done this, I've now got a new layout with a border control. The next thing I'm going to do is just going to change the font of the first name column to Comic Sans, just to show you how quickly you can make changes to existing functionality and publish it out to your end users. So at this stage, I've changed the layout of the form, I've changed the property of one of the fields. I'm going to check in the form again, and once I've checked in the form, I'm now publishing the form to my end users. If I save it as a draft, as I mentioned earlier, it is available only to the designer. If I publish it, it's now available to my end user community. And once I've done that, if I now go back to the front end that the user is accessing based on the URL, I am now able to see that the new layout of the form is immediately applicable. Now, when I'm adding a new user, in this case, let's say Andrew Fuller, you can see that the font for Andrew in the first name is Comic Sans, because I had changed the property of that font in the form designer. So from what I've just shown you, you can see how easy it is to incorporate changes to an existing application.